chosen ones, empaths, and all the real ones. From my perception, the human is placed in this world and the memory's been wiped. But there's some of those that have been marked by God or marked by the universe, I believe, to bring order in a dysfunctional world. Okay, I'm not saying you're a prophet, or I'm not saying I'm just saying, like, whether you look at this as like positive energy and negative energy, there's something in the chosen or the empath that can bring a goodness to the world. Okay, and obviously when you're placed in the midst of a lot of dysfunctional, fake, phony smiling faces that pretend to be your friend by stabbing you in the back or stealing from you or running up on your spouse or these types of things, right? The levels are off the chain, right? It's crazy what these parasites do, and it's not just narcissists, toxic individuals and everything, right? The empath and the chosen one is betrayed many times through their lifetime. Okay, but what I want to try and instill in all of you is realizing that these people who betray you are not your people, and it's like from my analysis, it's like a pointer, like, hey, empath, that's the wrong path, or they're not meant to be in your path, you see. And this is why you can't let this betrayal, or I know it's very difficult, okay, some of the things you've been through. I speak to many people who have been through tragic stuff, right? And you all have, right, in your own way. But it's an indication that these people are not meant for you. So I don't want you to grieve these people. Like, why did they do this? It's something I have to tell myself too. Like, the human, we always do it. We always go, but why me? Why did that happen? Like, we have to look deeper. You know what I'm saying? We have to look deeper and say, all right, there's wisdom to be extracted here. Okay. And just like in an exam, if you make a mistake in an exam in school, the teacher will walk past, maybe look at your paper and say, see, you've made a mistake. They're not going to tell you unless they break the rules, but they're most likely not going to tell you, right? And this is similar to maybe what we'll find out in the next life, right? For those of you that believe in the next life, that you understand why certain things occurred, and maybe it's a training or preparation. But what I want to try and instill in everyone, and I try and instill inside myself, is not to let these people in any longer. All right, these people who are betrayers, who are phonies, who are opportunists, not to let them in any longer. Draw a line in the sand. Right. Please like, share, and subscribe. And there's a thin line between love and hate, and that's how they're able to occupy. They're hating on you. A lot of them hating on you, friends, family, colleagues. Like, they're hating on you. Like, I'm not saying, like, they may have. I've seen it all, right? Like, you could get. I've said this before, but you could get a second-hand car. Okay, you saved up your money. You've got a second-hand car, and your friend or your colleague has had the new latest car every year. They get the new car every year, this, that, the other, and they'll actually hate on you for having something simplistic. Okay, they'll actually be envious of you. Okay, and this really happens. All right, it's that people will treat you differently. Oh, look at her, look at him in their car. They think they're great. Like, this is what I'm saying. And it's like your perception when you saw these people like get something new or something happened nice in their life, like, you was there like rooting for them. You know what I mean? You knew no better. And when the shoe's on the other foot and you get gifted with something, it doesn't have to be a material thing like a car, but I'm just trying to paint a perspective, right? Like, they get envious. And what you gotta understand is a lot of these toxic individuals and narcissists and that, a lot of their behavior is rooted in envy. Okay, and envy harms the envier more than it harms the one being envied. But from some research I've done, there maybe is something possible in if someone's hating on you and envying you constantly, it can put like negative energy around you. So it's like we should ask maybe for protection in God, or seek refuge in God or the universe or whatever your belief system is, you know, to protect us from evil or something like that. You could just say it once, you know what I'm saying, in a day, just wake up, just to be like reinforced. I'm not trying to get you into ritualistic behavior or anything, but I'm just saying like we've got to do what we can to get our own protection. So many of God's chosen are betrayed, and if you look through history, through the scriptures, whether you believe it or not, many of God's chosen have been betrayed by close people. So obviously what this resembles is you're obviously cut from a different cloth, right? It's not a coincidence that many of God's chosen in the scriptures and stuff and in throughout history have been betrayed, right? Even like people like, okay, this is going off the topic, but I'll share the information because they may as well get their rights, right? Everyone thinks the person who made the telephone was Alexander Graham Bell. I think that's his name. I might be wrong. Something Bell. Alexander Bell? Something Graham Bell. I don't know. Something Bell, right? And he was actually a university lecturer, or he worked in a university. And some man come in one day who had an ill wife at home that couldn't move, and he created a primitive, not primitive, like it was, you know, fascinating for those days, right? He created a phone where his wife could call him from the other room. So he brung this invention and tried to patent this invention. And he's like a messenger, right? He's coming with like some knowledge. He invented something, right? He found something that's on Earth. Like he created something, right? God created it, or the universe created it, but he brought it into fruition. And this Alexander Bell, Graham Bell, I think that's his name, he stole the patent and patented it himself. So now everyone thinks, even in school, they'll ask you who created the telephone. They'll say this man who nicked it, right? And the same goes for Nikola Tesla, okay? And Nikola Tesla, he developed a system that we use in our electrical system still till today, which is called alternating current. He didn't invent it, but he developed it and put it into order. And Thomas Edison, which everyone's heard of, wanted batteries, okay? But he created this other system, which in America, all over the world, this alternating current is still installed. That's how you install electrics, alternating current, right? AC, not air conditioning, alternating current. And what I'm saying is, Tesla died alone in a hotel, and he grew bonds with birds in his last days. He grew bonds with birds, pigeons, and he said there was I don't know if this is fact, but he said during his last days, Mum, when you were sick, I should have just been there to get you a glass of water, or I should have been like, I tried to give to the world, and he didn't get any financial gain, and he's remembered. Some people have dug deeper, but that's because of the internet and us finding out more information. Just like we're finding out about narcissistic abuse and things like this, right? So all I'm saying is many of God's chosen and people like inventors and people that have come up with fascinating ideas are deceived and betrayed. But let's trust in God, right? Because I believe that we will all have the last laugh, even in this world, right? And that's why we don't need to we need to try and limit these fakes and snakes that are trying to enter our circles, right? So don't be disheartened by betrayal. It's actually a point or an indication that these people are not meant to be in your life, okay? So, you know, and Tesla, his legacy lives on, right? It's still here now, you know, it's still here now. And I'm not sure if his family, everyone thinks of the car. I'm not even sure if he has to pay money to use his name on the car, you know. Elon Musk is tapped into that and called his car Tesla. Everyone thinks Tesla, but Tesla was one of the greatest inventors that ever lived, man. And ladies, sorry. But anyway, that was off topic, but I hope you enjoyed it. So anyway, thank you for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. I'm now available 24 hours across all time zones. You can also request a custom video. All video requests are processed in 24 hours. You're welcome to donate or support to the channel if you like to. My podcast is now on Spotify. Check out the spiritual channel for more content. All links you need in the description box below. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.